Hello. Welcome back to Happy Breath. I'm Jessie. This is my channel. If this is your first time here, please feel free to go watch my intro video. I talk a little bit about what Happy Breath is to me. But otherwise, let's start. I figured we could change pace today. So if you didn't see last week's video, we did some yoga together. If you haven't had a chance to do that, please go back and check it out. It is delicious. The stretches are delicious. It's fantastic, in my own completely biased opinion. Today I figured we could change pace a little by doing some art and just getting lost in some movement and some creativity. Before we do get started, a few things that I want to go over. First of all, I have a lot of art supplies. Please don't go buy all of the art supplies. You don't need everything. I will do my best in these videos to show you other ways or other materials that you can use instead of using whatever it is that I use. So in this video specifically, I use cheap acrylic paints that you can get at any hobby store. Mine are from Michael's. It came in a big pack of like 24, and you should be able to get a hold of them pretty easily, and they're pretty affordable. And I think you can even buy them like one color at a time. So feel free to go check that out. Otherwise, if you have Crayola markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything like that, that will work too. It'll be fine. We're just here to have fun today, so don't get caught up in the materials. I also use a sketchbook in this video. If you don't have a sketchbook, that's fine. You can use printer paper or notebook paper. The whole point of today's exercise is to create, and it doesn't matter what you create on or what you create with. I have a ton of art supplies because I do a lot of art. And so if you don't plan on doing a ton of art, don't buy all the art supplies. You'll be fine without it. Another thing that I wanted to go over before we start is setting the mood. So I've seen some artists use candles, or they dim the lights, or I have a hot cup of tea here. I highly suggest getting something to drink, because it's really easy to get lost in our art. So please go grab something, pause this video, go grab some water, go grab some tea or some coffee or whatever it is that you drink, and just go stay hydrated. Take care of yourself in this next hour. And finally, before we get started, let's take a minute to just breathe. Let's really set up our mental space for our creative practice today. And another thing that I just thought of, it's okay if you don't consider yourself creative. It's okay if you don't consider yourself an artist. Today is all about finding your inner child and opening up your mind to being creative. You don't have to create a masterpiece. I know for sure that what I create here is not going to be a masterpiece. So please get rid of expectation. Get rid of any of those negative thoughts coming to mind, and just be ready to play. Just like yoga, we play on our mats. With art, we play in our sketchbook or we play on our paper. And today is not about perfection or anything like that. This is about playing and creating and listening to yourself. I thought it might be easier to start with an abstract painting today because I didn't want people to get caught up in details or feel overwhelmed, because for some reason, even though as children we create a ton, it's like when we become adults, we're afraid to put a mark on a piece of paper, even though literally, like, you can cover up that paper, you can throw that paper away. It's sad, I think. So I encourage you to let go of that anxiety, let go of that stress, let go of that hesitation, and just create with me. That's what this is all about. Just create with me. As you can see on this page on the left, like, you're not going to create anything amazing probably, and that's okay. The first step is just to try, really. And again, this is about feeling good and listening to our bodies. It's not about creating a masterpiece here. I view art as a practice just as I view yoga as a practice. We're all at different areas. And even if you don't care to be an artist or don't care to create on a regular basis, I think it's so important to at least occasionally tap into our creative bones and listen to ourselves and express ourselves through art and creativity. So please don't be afraid. If there's any amount of hesitation, please just let that go and just create with me today. So I am creating today with acrylic paint. I chose 2 complementary colors, which means that when you mix these together, they are going to create sort of a muddy color. So be aware of that as you are painting if you choose to use complementary colors. I just don't want you to accidentally mix a bunch and it comes out a muddy mess and then you're disappointed in what you've created. Even though that's not what this is about, it's still easy to become disappointed. So again, get rid of those expectations, but do be aware of how this medium and how these colors interact with each other if you are using complementary colors. Also, just real quick, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I set this video up so that you could follow along and do the same thing if you want. But if you already have a creative practice, please feel free to just continue whatever it is that you're doing and, leave me in the background. I'm here to be a friend. I'm here to be supportive. And I'm here to hopefully be a calming presence in your life if you'll let me. A calming presence in your life, a calming presence in your ear. I'm just here to be as supportive for you as I can be. So that being said, before we get started, let's take a minute to breathe. So sit back in your chair, bring your hands to your lap or to your sides. Close your eyes. Relax the muscles in your face. Unclench your jaw. Feel the air come in through your nose and come out through your nose. Notice how it's a little cooler on its way in, and then it's warmed by the energy in your body, and comes out warmer and out through your nose. Notice how your chest rises and falls when you breathe. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Feel your stomach expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. Keep your eyes closed here. And even though I'm going to be giving instruction on this creative practice today, maybe right now you set an intention of your own, or maybe even think about what you want to create. Because like I said, you don't have to create what I'm creating. You can create whatever you want. So just like in yoga, how we make our practice our own. So I give instruction, but maybe you go into a full wrap sometimes when I don't cue it, or maybe you do a deeper stretch that I'm not necessarily cueing, or maybe you go to child's pose to relax because that's what your body needs right now in this moment. That's okay. So just like that happens in yoga, I want you to keep that same frame of mind during this creative practice and every creative practice after. Even though I'm giving instruction, I want you to create whatever feels right in your body. So maybe your mind is completely blank right now, or maybe you have a ton of creative energy just building up. Maybe you know exactly what you want to create, or maybe you have no idea. Maybe you're even thinking about not finishing this video. If that's you, please, I implore you to grab a marker or a pen or some paint and a paintbrush or whatever you have lying around already, and just create and see how you feel after. See if you feel better. See if it opens up something in your mind. I am going into this practice not knowing what I'm going to paint exactly. That's how I enter most of my creative practices, and that's okay. So if you know exactly what you want to make, cool. If you have no idea, that's cool too. Okay. Go ahead and start to blink your eyes open very slowly. If you have a warm beverage in front of you, pick it up, hold it to your chest. Feel the warmth. Or if it's 1,000 degrees outside and you have a cold drink in front of you, pick that up and feel how cool it is. How does it smell? How does it feel? Take a sip. How does it taste? And set your drink down and let's get started. So I am starting today with complementary colors. I've got a blue and an orange here. And like I said, if you are following along, please just be aware that these will turn muddy if you mix them. That's okay if you're going for like a brown or a gray color. I just want you to be aware of that if you don't already know. I am using a flat paintbrush, but feel free to just use whatever you have lying around. Anything will work, really. We're just here to have fun and to create and to listen to our inner voices today. We're here to find a way to communicate what our inner selves are experiencing or thinking. Or maybe it's not that deep and we're just here to make marks on a paper. That's okay too. Again, just like in yoga, we have good practice days where we feel connected and energized, and then we have some days where we just worked up a sweat and that's it. Same thing goes for creative practices. Okay, so let's put some paint on our paintbrush. Make sure you have some water so that you can rinse off your paintbrush. Maybe you get a paper towel to wipe off any excess water. It's also a helpful tip. So I'm working with a mostly dry paintbrush here, which means that the paint isn't exactly spreading the easiest. If you want your paint to spread a little bit more, a little bit easier, put more water on your paintbrush. This is a look that I was kind of trying to go for here, so I wasn't using a ton of water and I was definitely wiping off a lot. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I kind of wanted those fun dry paintbrush marks, I guess. So I'm gonna start with an orange eye and a blue eye and just kind of see where that takes me. They don't have to be perfect. Again, this is completely abstract. It's completely based on how we're feeling, what we're feeling rather. Kind of be thinking about the eye sockets too, rather than the eye. I'm gonna put this blue anywhere that I think might be kind of darker on the face. So I see under the nose would be dark, under the bottom lip, the line in between his lips. I'm gonna actually change my mind here and make this eye socket blue. I'm thinking now about where the temples would be and just marking those, and maybe where the hairline is. It's usually dark around that area. And again, none of this has to be perfect. Just do whatever you're feeling. Now I'm thinking about the jawline, and I'm just gonna vaguely mark where those might be, maybe exaggerate them. And I'm actually gonna use a little bit more water here because I want the paint to spread a little bit more here. Now I'm going to move over to the orange, and here I'm just kind of thinking about where highlights might go. So tip of the nose. I'm also going to go ahead and paint where the eyeballs will be. I'm using kind of a lot of paint here so that it'll be a really opaque orange rather than letting that blue shine through too much. Because eventually I'm probably going to make these white, or I don't know, we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to put marks where the nostrils might be. Maybe go ahead and paint the lips orange. Go ahead and mark where his cheeks are. And if you have yet to make a mark on your page, if you're staring at this and you are afraid to begin, just put something on the page. Even if it's ugly, you can cover it up later. Or you can throw the paper away and you can start over again. I'm going to mark the highlights that are kind of in between the eyeball or the eyelid and the eyebrow. And the center of his forehead, and also down his nose. I'm going to let some white show through, so I'm not covering up the whole page just yet. I probably will later, but I'm going to leave a lot of white showing for now so that we have a good idea of what he looks like, I guess. And switching back to blue here, I'm just going to elongate his face. Maybe add some depth here to his nose, Just putting in some marks wherever I'm feeling like they should go. Give him some nostrils. Decide where some more highlights go. Decide where some more shadows might go. I'm just following my intuition here. I'm not thinking a ton about the marks that I'm making. I am, however, taking a break every now and then and looking at the piece as a whole, and I do suggest doing that. It can just be helpful sometimes. And now I'm going to decide where his eyeballs, especially his pupils, might be. Maybe they're perfect circles. Maybe we make them square. For now, at least. Again, don't think about it too hard. Just do whatever feels right. Remember, we're not here to make a masterpiece today. We're just here to have fun and create together. I think I might make these shadows a little bit more exaggerated here. Make some of these marks a little darker. Make the shadow between his lips just a little darker, and at the edges of his mouth. sometimes I think doing art really helps you to notice it definitely helps you notice details, but I think that can help with happy breaths. And I think that might be something that has supported my ability to have those happy breaths so regularly, because I do kind of look for those details, and it makes it a little bit easier maybe to notice those things when they happen, if that makes any sense at all. But that's why I wanted to include art on this channel, because creating is such an important part of my happy breath experience. And so I can't promise that you'll have a happy breath today or tomorrow or the next day or any day thereafter, but I do think from my own personal experiences that creation and art can help you at least point you in the right direction to getting a happy breath if you haven't had one, or to have another one if you have had one already. Oh, that's been another thing. Since I posted that intro video and explained my happy breath experiences, I've had so many people reach out to me and tell me about their happy breath experiences. So I've learned that other people do actually have them. Apparently, we just don't talk about them. So I hope that this helps you reach your next happy breath, or maybe experience it for the first time. So I've mixed together my blue and orange here to make a darker color, just to add a little bit more depth to the painting and add some more details. Again, not thinking too hard about what I'm doing, just kind of following my intuition. Making things darker when I want them to be darker, making things lighter when I want them to be lighter, mixing the colors when I want them to be mixed. Not a ton of thought, mostly just feeling. It's okay if you want to put a ton of thought into it too. I don't want to discourage you from putting thought into your art. Just know that sometimes I think it can be good to take a step back and do things based on feeling, rather than planning out every single part of an art project, or even taking this outside of art. It can be nice to just let things be and let things happen naturally, rather than forcing it to happen in a specific way, if that makes any sense. Maybe you are feeling these mixing colors and going for some blending action here. I'm gonna try and blend his forehead a little and see how I like it. Maybe give him some eyebrows. that you can actually see. Now I'm going to start to remove some of that white. Well, not remove it. I'm going to start to cover up some of that white. Still not all of it. I'll leave some patches here and there. Again, you do whatever you are feeling though. If you want to leave more white, great. If you want to cover up all the white, that's cool too. I'm going to let my colors sort of blend together as they want to because I've been painting dry and keeping it kind of thick. It seems to be blending pretty okay in some spots. It's creating some fun textures, some fun color combinations. Kind of digging it. Actually, I'm going to add a little water here and see if I can get some different blending shapes. Some different things. Just kind of playing with it. Again, just doing whatever I'm feeling in this moment. Maybe the whole face turns muddy into a big muddy mess. That's okay. We'll see what happens. I'm really liking how it's turning out like under his nose, kind of between his nose and his mouth. I'm liking that area. I encourage you to find a thing about your art right now that you like and say it out loud to yourself. Say, oh yeah, I really like his eyes, or I really like the way I did his nose. Also, take a break, get some water, or drink your tea, drink your coffee. If you just added a ton of water to yours like I just did, maybe let it dry or blow dry it. Okay, now I think I'm feeling some doodles. I've got my Posca acrylic paint pens here, and I think I'm just gonna doodle. Maybe add details. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna grab this black first and mark where his pupils are. I think I might do a more detailed eye than this. I'm not really feeling his eyes right now. I think he needs some nostrils. And just kind of define where his lips are a little bit more. The corners of his eyes. If you don't do a ton of art and you're adding eyes, please feel free to add whatever kind of eye you want. But I will say something that's been helpful for my own art experience is knowing that usually you don't see the whole eyeball, the whole iris, the colorful part of the eye. If you show the whole iris, he's gonna look excited or shocked or scared or something. So just kind of keep that in mind. So usually if we're looking straight on, the top part of our iris is covered by our eyelids. So keep that in mind. Again, that's just a little tidbit. You don't have to use it. Also, the eye shape isn't exactly in like a pointy oval. It's not exactly that like almond shape that we typically will do if we're, not used to doing eyeballs. I encourage you to sort of play around with the shape of the eyes, maybe on a different piece of paper, or maybe you do this several times, or however you want this to be. If you plan on drawing a lot of eyes, just kind of pay attention. Go look at your own eye in the mirror and really examine the shape of your eye when it's open, the part of our eyeball that we actually see. It can be an interesting thing to study, the eye. And I'm just gonna add some little white highlights here. Maybe make his eyeballs blue. I don't have a ton of colors in Poscas, so there's not a ton to play with here, but we work with what we got. And I'm just playing with his eyes, getting them to a place that I feel happy with. Again, it's not about perfection, it's just about doing what you feel in the moment. And right now I am feeling these eyeballs. And now I'm just gonna add some little creases here to show that he does have eyelids. Or at least to try to show that he has eyelids. I think it might be fun to follow this orange line. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. And I'm gonna highlight his eyebrows here. He needs a little more. Maybe he needs a little more. My eyebrows are thin, but that doesn't mean his have to be. And if you're doing eyebrows too, just kind of remember the direction that the hair moves in. You don't necessarily have to draw every single hair. Just kind of keep in mind what direction each hair goes in. So usually it goes the further toward the center the eyebrow is, the hair kind of grows up, and then it kind of grows out the further outside of your head you get, I guess, if that makes sense. So just kind of try to move in the direction of the hair or play around with it. Again, this is your art practice. Make it yours. Do whatever you want. And I'm gonna add some kind of mid-tones, I guess. They're not quite white, they're not quite dark. So just adding that yellow in places that I think might be mid-tone-ish. Give him some wonky eyelashes here. I'm not going to give you advice on eyelashes because I have not figured eyelashes out. So just play. Not that I've figured out anything else either, just I'm mediocre at everything else, but I am bad at eyelashes. And I'm just going to add some red here to add little bits of color. I wasn't actually going to make this quite this detailed. I'm really enjoying playing with the color right now, and so I'm just going for it. If you're not feeling all these colors, don't do it. And let's give him some better lips here. some luscious lips. I'm still really enjoying the piece between his nose and mouth. Maybe he needs some cheeks. I was gonna add some details with black, but I think I might actually use this dark blue. I feel like it's just a little less dramatic. A little less harsh. And I think it's time to doodle. I wish that I could say that this doodling style was my idea, but I got this idea from another artist from a thing called Sketchbook Revival, which is a fun, free art experience, I guess, that's done online from an amazing woman named Karen Aubend. It just ended actually last month, and so it's already over this year, but I will be sure, if I'm still doing this in a year, to let you guys know about it, because it's a lot of fun, and it really boosted my confidence and skills in art. Opened my eyes to a bunch of mediums that I would have never otherwise even known about, much less tried. And a lot of fun, different kinds of styles, and it's just a good way to be introduced to other artists in the community doing art full time or whatever. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know if you're interested. I'll let you guys know about that this time next year, or a little bit before this time next year. So yeah, I'm just gonna doodle here. flowers. The artist that I got this idea from, she likes to do like birds and I don't know, just different kinds of shapes and things, stars, moons, sun, diamonds and circles and all kinds of things. So I'm just gonna do whatever I'm feeling and we'll see what comes out of it. Also, I will link the other artist's information down below. I don't know her name off the top of my head. But yeah, I'll put her information below in case you're interested. And again, same thing as the painting part. I'm not putting a ton of thought into where I'm putting marks. I'm just kind of doing stuff. Let's add some reflections in his eyes. Make him look a little bit more 3D, even though it's still definitely an abstract face. We're just, adding some details here and there. It's okay if things are off center. Obviously mine is, but we're just here to have fun. It's okay. think I am going to stop here. I could keep doodling forever, but I think this is my finished product. So thank you so much for doing some art with me today, creating with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you at least enjoyed the process and hopefully enjoy what you created. But if not, maybe try again, or just accept that not every painting or creation is going to be a masterpiece. I'm going to keep saying that until it's burned into your brain, because that is such an important part of this. We expect perfection every single time we try something, and that's just not a healthy way to go about life. So I encourage you to let go of that thought and just accept what you have just created. But again, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Maybe like the video, maybe share it with your friends. Maybe get together with your friends and watch it together and create together. Art can be such a uniting thing. It has brought me so many people in my life, and I appreciate it so much. So again, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and end this with a thumb to your forehead. Bring your thumbs to your forehead. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in through your nose. Big open mouth exhale. Sigh it out. Thank you for creating with me. Thank you for opening your mind and letting your inner self express itself on the paper. Bow with me. Go find your happy breath. Namaste.